Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're really getting into a topic that fascinates a lot of people, manifestation. How do we actually bring our desires, our intentions into reality?
Exactly. And we're using portals of manifestation, the miracles and spiritual guide to the seven portals as our guide for this.
Yeah, it maps out these seven sort of pathways.
Mm.
We want to basically distill the key ideas for you, make it really clear and engaging.
Right. Think of it as understanding the core mechanics, the spiritual perspective on how we can actually, you know, shape our own reality.
And it's not just theory, is it? One thing from the book that really jumped out at me, and we'll explore this, is the idea that you are what you manifest.
That's potent. It suggests a really direct link.
Totally. So whether you have big goals or you're just curious about how this all works, this deep dive is, well, it's for you. We want to pull out those core principles.
Actionable insights, that's the goal. So today we're really focusing on laying the groundwork. We'll unpack the basics from the first chapters, the essence of it all.
And then we'll step into the very first portal mentioned in the book.
The portal of clarity, yeah, building that foundation first.
Okay, let's get into it. Chapter 1 starts with the essence of manifestation. So what is manifestation at its core?
Well, fundamentally, it's the process of bringing what you desire, what you intend, into your actual tangible reality.
Right, but it's not just wishing, like you said earlier.
No, definitely not passive. It's very much an active process. It requires like a harmony between your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions.
And your actions, all working together.
Precisely. All aligned towards what you're aiming to create.
The book talks about this connection, this sort of interconnectedness between our thoughts and the universe. That's a huge concept. How does that actually play out?
It is a big idea. The perspective here is that every single thought carries energy, like an actual energetic signature.
Okay.
And this energy isn't just stuck inside your head, it ripples outwards, influencing the world around you. So when you consistently focus your thoughts on a specific desire...
You're sending out a signal.
Exactly, a focused, energetic signal. And the idea is that this signal attracts similar energies, opportunities, people, circumstances that resonate on that same frequency.
So it's about energetic alignment, not just like magic spells.
Right. More physics than magic, perhaps, or maybe a bit of both. But it's about resonance.
Okay, that makes sense. It's active participation in this energy field. Now, the book stresses commitment and clarity. Why are those two so important?
Well, think about that signal we just mentioned. Commitment gives it the power, the staying power, you know?
Right.
And clarity gives it the direction, the precision. You need to really know what you truly desire deep down.
And it has to be authentic, right? Not just what you think you should want.
Absolutely crucial. It needs to come from your true self, not from like family pressure or society's expectations.
Yeah.
That clear, genuine desire becomes your compass.
Your North Star.
Yeah.
Keeps you on track.
Okay.
Then the book talks about mindset, cultivating a positive, abundant mindset. How does that fit in?
Your mindset, your thoughts and emotions essentially creates the energetic environment you live in.
Like the soil for your intentions.
Exactly like that. A positive, abundant mindset creates rich, fertile soil. It makes it much easier for your desires to actually take root and grow.
So it raises your vibrational state. Is that the idea?
Yeah, it makes you an energetic match for the good things you want to attract. Poor soil, poor growth, good soil. You get the picture.
Got it. And this connects to gratitude and trust, which the book also highlights. How do they play a role?
Gratitude is super powerful. It shifts your focus immediately from what you don't have
to what you do have.
Right. And that feeling of appreciation, that signals to the universe, or whatever you want to call it, that you're open and ready to receive more.
Okay, so gratitude opens the door. What about trust? That seems harder.
It can be. Trust is about letting go of the need to control how everything unfolds. Micromanaging the universe, basically.
Which never works anyway.
Usually not. It's about having faith that things will come together in the best way at the right time. It creates space for, well, the unexpected. Miracles, even.
So it's active faith, not just sitting back.
Definitely. It allows things to flow.
Okay. The chapter wraps up by talking about us being co-creators. That sounds pretty empowering.
It really is. When you start to grasp manifestation, you realize you're not just passively watching life happen to you.
You're participating. Shaping it.
Exactly. You're actively co-creating your reality. Understanding these principles unlocks that potential, that power we all inherently have.
Okay, so that's the foundation, the essence. Let's move on to the power of intention. The book calls intentions catalysts for transformation. What makes them so potent?
Intentions are more than just thoughts. They're purposeful declarations. You're consciously aligning your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions towards a specific reality you want.
Like drawing a map for where you want to go.
Precisely. Setting that clear intention opens up doors, pathways you might not have even seen before. It directs your focus.
But setting them requires, as the book says, deep understanding. Understanding of yourself.
Yes, exactly. It demands real self-reflection. You need clarity on your innermost desires, what truly, truly resonates with you at your core.
Not just surface level wants.
No. These deep intentions then act like a beacon, guiding your choices, your actions, everything.
And it's not just knowing the intention, it's about aligning your energy with it too, right? The whole vibrational frequency thing again.
When you clearly state your intention, you're essentially tuning yourself like an instrument.
To the frequency of that intention.
Yes, and that alignment amplifies your own energy field, making you much more receptive to opportunities and experiences that match what you're aiming for.
Okay, so intention sets the frequency.
Yeah.
And belief. Belief amplifies it. The book stresses belief.
Massively. Belief is like the volume knob. When you genuinely, truly believe your intention is possible, even inevitable.
You create fertile ground.
Exactly. It acts like a magnet, pulling in the resources, the people, the synchronicities needed to make it happen. Doubt, conversely, is like static.
It blocks the signal. Okay. So intention is direction, belief is momentum. Yeah. But setting intentions isn't a one-and-done thing, is it? The book says it's continuous.
Right. Because we change, we evolve, learn, experience new things.
So our desires might shift.
Naturally. So revisiting and refining your intentions regularly is key. It ensures they stay aligned with who you are now and where you're genuinely heading. It's like recalibrating your GPS.
That makes total sense. Stay current with yourself. Yeah. And the chapter ends by saying intention awakens our inner co-creator. How does that happen?
Well, by consciously setting intentions, by engaging in this process deliberately, you're stepping up. You're acknowledging your role.
You're saying, I'm participating in creating my life.
Exactly. It shifts you from feeling like things just happen to you to feeling empowered. You're the architect, not just a resident.
I like that. Okay, essence, intention. Now, chapter 1 also covers aligning with your true self. Yeah. Why is this alignment so essential for manifestation?
This is really fundamental. When you're aligned with your authentic self, your core values, your passions, your purpose, you're tapped into the source of your real desires.
Not the borrowed ones.
Right. This alignment is the bridge between your inner world and the universe's energy. It's finding your unique note in the cosmic symphony.
And the first step is self-discovery. How do we do that? What practices help?
The book suggests things like journaling, quiet reflection, maybe meditation, anything that helps you tune out the external noise.
And listen inward.
Exactly. To uncover what truly lights you up, what feels genuinely you, it's about learning to hear and trust that inner voice.
Okay, so we start listening. Then the book mentions embracing vulnerability. How does being vulnerable help alignment? That seems counterintuitive sometimes.
It does, but think of it this way. Alignment requires honesty. Being vulnerable means having the courage to express your true thoughts, your real feelings.
Even if it's uncomfortable.
Especially then. It's that openness, that authenticity, that actually builds deeper connections with yourself and with others who resonate with your true self. It attracts alignment.
Okay, so it clears the path for authentic connections. Makes sense. And mindfulness. How does being present help us stay aligned?
Mindfulness, being present, makes you more aware of those subtle inner signals, the nudges, the intuition.
Like an internal feedback system.
Pretty much. It helps you notice when you're drifting off your path, when your actions aren't quite matching your core values. It allows for gentle course correction, keeps that inner compass accurate.
Right. It's not like you reach perfect alignment and stay there, is it? The book calls it an ongoing journey.
Definitely not a destination. It's a continuous process of growth, learning, transforming. It requires patience with yourself, compassion.
Self-care.
Absolutely. Every experience, even the tough ones, is part of that evolution, deepening your alignment over time. It ebbs and flows.
Okay, wow. That's a lot of foundational work just in chapter 1. Now let's move into chapter 2 and the first portal. Clarity. It starts with defining your desires. Why is this the absolute first step?
Well, it seems obvious, but it's crucial. You can't manifest something if you don't actually know specifically what that something is.
Right. Vague wishes get vague results.
Pretty much. This step is about deep self-exploration, bringing those desires from the subconscious, maybe fuzzy level, into sharp, conscious focus. It's easy to lose touch with what we really want.
The book says to consider what makes your heart sing. How do you pinpoint that,
Yeah.
especially with all the noise?
It suggests really reflecting on your core values again, your passions, what feels essential to you, and actually writing things down helps immensely.
Getting it out of your head and onto paper.
Yes. Dreams, thoughts, aspirations without judging them. Just let it flow. That act clarifies things incredibly well.
So clarity is like a laser beam for your energy. The book calls it a beacon and says each defined desire is like a portal to a higher frequency. That's evocative.
It really is. It highlights how powerful a clear, focused desire is. It directs your energy precisely and literally acts as an entry point, a portal, to a state of being that's more aligned with that desire, tuning into its specific energy.
But just knowing isn't enough, right?
Yeah.
The book emphasizes visualizing it as already real and feeling the emotions. Why the feeling part?
The emotional resonance is key. It's the fuel. When you vividly imagine your goal as achieved and you let yourself feel the joy, the relief, the excitement.
You're aligning your energy state right now.
Exactly. You're telling your subconscious, your whole being, this is real, this is happening. It powerfully reinforces the intention and draws the experience closer energetically, creating that emotional blueprint.
So engaging head and heart makes sense.
Yeah.
The book also mentions patience and trust here, while defining desires. Why are they needed at this stage?
Because sometimes uncovering your deepest desires isn't instant. It might take time. It's about aligning with your deeper purpose, not just quick fixes. So trusting the process, trusting the universe's timing, understanding that it's unfolding. That reduces anxiety. Patience lets those seeds you're defining actually germinate properly.
And our desires can change, can't they? The book notes they might evolve.
Of course. As we grow and change, what we want often shifts too. Life isn't static.
So we need to revisit them.
Yes, regularly revisiting and redefining your desires is super important. It's like a sacred practice, keeping you authentically aligned with your evolving self.
Okay, defining desires is step one in clarity. Next is the role of visualization. The book calls it a bridge between inner desire and outer reality. How does visualization build that bridge?
Visualization uses your imagination, a hugely powerful faculty, to craft those detailed mental movies of your goals. See them, feel them, experience them in your mind.
As if they're already here.
Yes, this practice aligns your energy, your subconscious beliefs with that reality, making it feel more attainable and priming you to recognize opportunities related to it.
And it's more than just daydreaming. The book connects it to the higher self and exploring those 7 pathways.
Right. It can be a tool for deeper exploration. As you visualize, you might mentally walk through the different pathways or approaches to manifestation, gaining insights.
Like testing things out internally, getting intuitive hits.
Exactly. It can illuminate necessary steps or connect you with inner wisdom about how to proceed.
Okay, so it's rehearsal and potential guidance. We touched on emotional resonance earlier, but how specifically does it enhance visualization itself?
By intentionally cultivating the feelings, the joy, the peace, the excitement during the visualization, you significantly amplify its effect.
It boosts the signal again.
Absolutely. Those positive emotions raise your vibrational frequency, making you a much stronger magnet for the reality you're visualizing. It fuels your belief and your motivation.
And visualization isn't just future-focused. The book says to bring gratitude into the visualization. How does that work?
While you're visualizing your desire as fulfilled, you also consciously feel gratitude for what you already have right now in this moment.
Oh, okay.
This creates a really positive, abundant energy field. It tells the universe, I appreciate what I have and I'm ready for more. It shifts you out of any feeling of lack.
Like fertilizing the ground while planting the seed. Okay. And finally, visualization is described as empowering a proactive approach. How does seeing it in your mind lead to doing things in the world?
Because consistent visualization makes the goal feel real and achievable. It moves it from maybe someday to this is happening.
Right.
That clarity and emotional connection naturally inspire you to take action. Small steps, big leaps, whatever feels aligned. You stop waiting and start actively participating in making it happen. You become a co-creator in action.
Okay, proactive creation, got it. The final piece of this clarity portal is creating a vision board, a tangible representation. What's the power of making it physical?
Having that physical board, the images, the words, the symbols, it's a constant visual anchor for your intentions.
Something you see every day.
Exactly. It helps solidify those goals in your subconscious. The combination of visuals and the feelings they evoke really ignites that manifestation energy, makes the abstract concrete.
The book suggests setting aside quiet time before making it. Why the prep?
That quiet time lets you reconnect with those deep desires we talked about, to get clear, without distractions, on what truly matters and aligns with you before you start cutting and pasting.
So the board reflects your true self, not just fleeting whims.
Precisely. It ensures it's a meaningful reflection of your authentic aspirations.
And arranging it. There's no right or wrong way. The book says it's personal expression.
Totally personal. It's your creative process. Arrange it in a way that feels exciting, inspiring to you. As you're doing it, feel the excitement. Imagine living those dreams represented on the board.
Okay. And once it's done, put it somewhere prominent. Why visibility?
Seeing it regularly acts as that constant reminder, a daily dose of motivation. Each glance reconnects you subconsciously with the goals and the positive emotions tied to them.
Keeps the intention alive and active in your mind.
Yes, reinforces your focus and your commitment almost effortlessly.
And it's not just meant to be looked at, right? It's a catalyst for action.
Absolutely. It should inspire you. Use it as a prompt for your daily visualizations or your affirmations. Let it spark ideas for actions you can take, even tiny ones.
That move you towards those goals on the board.
Exactly. It bridges the gap between the inner work of visualizing and the outer work of taking aligned steps.
Wow, okay. We've covered a lot of ground today. Let's try and quickly recap.
Sounds good.
We started with the essence of manifestation. Really understanding it's about aligning thoughts, emotions, actions, not just wishing.
Right. And the power of intention as that focused declaration amplified by genuine belief.
Then the absolute necessity of aligning with your true self through self-discovery, vulnerability, mindfulness, that ongoing journey.
And then we stepped into that first crucial portal, clarity.
Which involves really defining your authentic desires, harnessing visualization, and crucially, the associated feelings.
And using tools like vision boards to make those desires tangible and keep them top of mind.
So for you listening, maybe take a moment now or later to just reflect on this. How do these ideas sit with you, with your own goals and dreams?
Yeah, think about your own process. Could bringing more conscious intention or more authentic alignment or simply more clarity, could that open things up for you?
And here's something to maybe chew on after this. When you think about getting clear, what part feels like the biggest challenge for you right now? Is it nailing down the desire itself? Is it the visualization part? Or maybe creating that vision board?
Or which part feels most exciting? Just noticing that can be really insightful.
Definitely. And remember, this is just the beginning, really. We've explored the foundation and the first of 7 portals from the book.
That's right. There are 6 more pathways, 6 more portals to manifestation that offer different perspectives and tools. Lots more to explore.
And we absolutely look forward to diving into those with you in future discussions. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive today.